Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to another edition of Toxic Happy Hour, where we are toxic towards scams that delay the adoption of global sound money. Today, we have long-time, very big Bitcoin podcaster coming all the way from somewhere in the British Isles, Peter McComark, with the podcast, What Bitcoin Did. Welcome to the show, Peter. It's been a long time running, and first of all, we want to know, what are you drinking today?
I have a double rye whiskey.
Nice. Where do you get your whiskey from, sir? Which because you have Scotland over there. What are you drinking?
So it's an American one. Somebody sent me it. He listens to the show. Just emailed me and said, I want to send you a whiskey you're going to love. And it's a double rye, and they did, and they're fucking great. I mean, I don't normally like a neat whiskey, so I like a old fashioned or a whiskey sour. But this just on box is lovely. So thank you. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. I'm throwing in a Mexican Modelo Especial. Pubby, what are you drinking, mate?
Nice. You know me, I like to stick with my my pale ales. This one from Sierra Nevada, of course. I keep it simple. It's still early in the day. The whiskey could come later, but actually, I prefer a good bourbon. I'm a bourbon man. So,
what bourbon do you like?
You know, like the Lagavulin is always a nice one.
Okay,
got a bit of a
you guys are Danish, right?
I am.
Well,
oh, you're Danish. I thought you both were.
Oh God, thank God, no.
Pubby the Dane.
No, yeah, can you imagine Pubby Dane? Nope, Pubby the American, Anders a Dane, and somehow we met through Bitcoin here and running this tiny little podcast.
So let me ask you, was it 92 that Euros?
Sorry?
Was it in 92 that Denmark won the Euros?
Yeah,
92?
I appreciate that we moved to football, as it's called, because football, you kick the ball with your feet. And I don't know why American handball is called American football, because they are running with the ball in their hands most of the time. So anyways, yes, in 1992, Denmark actually did not qualify for the Euro Cup, but then the war broke out in Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
They beat us in the qualifying, so we lost it. I was depressed. And then Yugoslavia broke, into war, and then Denmark, the players already were, having their summer holidays, standing at the barbecue, drinking beer and red wine, and traveling Europe. And then they were called in and said, "We're going to the Euro Cup in a couple of weeks. You better, bring your soccer gear, football gear." And we freaking won.
Freaking won. What? I mean, I remember that.
We beat
what?
The last 3 games we played. We beat France, we beat Holland, and we beat Germany. Every single one of them underestimated us. We were the underdogs. And as a country with, at the time, only 5 million inhabitants, to win the Euro Cup, I can live on that for a lifetime. So thank you very much.
Hey,
wonderful.
I've never seen England win a tournament, right? I've never seen them. We only ever won the World Cup once, right? And here we are,
66.
Denmark. Honestly, I absolutely love that we won. I'm pretty sure England weren't in it. I think we didn't even qualify for 92. Pretty sure.
Yeah, we didn't meet you, at least at the Euro Cup. So I don't know if you were in the other group or what. Probably not. You probably didn't make it. Neither did we. But we just won it. Puppy.
Yeah, listen, Denmark may have been the worst team to ever win it until I was in Greece. I was doing work for the Olympics in 2004 when they had their run to the Euro. And I remember that, but that country was shut down for every game. So yeah, 2004, and the Greeks was basically, their entire game plan was 11 in the box and hope for a breakout counterattack. And damn, it worked. I think they had a German coach, Otto, I can't remember his last name. But yeah, let me turn this off here.
I think it was a lot of 1-0s. Wasn't it a lot of 1-0s?
Yes. That's all it was. The luckiest 1-0 streak. Dude, 7 games, 8 games. Yeah, they did. They did.
But since we're on the topic of football, I want to carry it on to what I have even almost more dear at heart. Well, probably I do. Is club football, and I have a team in Denmark that I support that is called Brøndby. I've been a supporter since '93.
Yeah, I know Brøndby.
Yeah, you know Brøndby, right?
Of course, yeah.
And
who's the famous guy who played for a long time? The blonde guy. Stefan.
Blonde guy. Peter Schmeichel came from Brøndby. Played. But
I'm looking
which
up
blonde guy? Puppy, you know football.
Oh, I do, but
guy?
Yeah, but from Brøndby, Peter Schmeichel, of course, I know, the keeper. But as far as other blonde,
no, it's not
Danish.
Not that I was thinking of. Sorry, apologies. It wasn't that I was thinking of. I was actually thinking of Daniel Agger.
Yeah,
Agger. Yeah. Oh, yes, you mentioned him.
So Daniel Agger, we both know Peter because I know you support. A legend in Brøndby. Yeah. He then, as a young player, when he was really coming up and was way superior, the best defender in the Danish league, was bought by Liverpool, which is the club you support.
Well, have you ever seen the goal he scored for us from outside the box? Like, he didn't score a lot of goals, right? But there was one game, I'm just trying to remember it was against, he just swept through the midfield, let scream from about 30 yards. And I'll tell you what, I love that player. Good, hard, solid defender,
and a good guy. Just a really, and he could drive the ball forward. Like, even though he's a defender, he would come with such an authority as he started moving the ball forward. He was just, an absolute beast.
Bentner. Someone said Bentner. Fucking Bentner.
Yeah, Bentner. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Bentner, he played for FC Copenhagen. We hate FC Copenhagen when we're Brøndby supporters. That's the two arch enemies. But since you're a supporter, since we spoke about Liverpool and Daniel Agger, I just want to bring up one of the phenomenal memories I do have from Brøndby was watching Brøndby knock out Liverpool from the Euro Cup.
What year was this?
So that was probably 94, 95, something around that time. But what I will say then, Peter, which is something that moved all of us Brøndby fans, is that, so we played the first game in Copenhagen. It was a draw, 0-0 draw. So everything was to be decided in Liverpool on Anfield Road, the legendary Anfield Road. And that was a 0-0 game until a few minutes before the whistle, and Brøndby scored. But you had better players, bigger budget, everything, but what we really looked up to the Liverpool fans for was that after beating Liverpool 1-0, instead of the fans hating on us, they were actually standing up and clapping and cheering the underdog for actually having played well against, the team Liverpool and having pulled it off.
We respect that. Look, someone has mentioned Jan Molby. Remember Jan Molby, the fat footballer?
Yeah.
Literally, he was actually one of the few people who's fatter than me who was a professional footballer.
Yeah, he was really good though. He played for Liverpool, right?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
When I was like 15, 14, he played for Liverpool. Brilliant.
Someone mentioned MG Smith 4, solid chat, Pleb, on THH. He mentions Laudrup brothers. Absolutely agree. Laudrup brothers. They both came from Brøndby, by the way. They played in Brøndby before, having phenomenal international careers. But Puppy, here we are, two Europeans keep talking about football. Let's bring you into the conversation here.
Oh, listen, I don't mind it. I grew up, playing soccer up through the 80s in the U.S. 88, I was on a traveling team. We had a 5-week tour in Europe, my first time there, which of course was quite an eye-opener. But yeah, I remember being in the Netherlands, summer of '88, man. And one of my favorite players, Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, all these classic players. I mean, that country was going nuts. So this is my first foray, And I'm like, man, what a time to be alive, to visit the Netherlands. Yeah, summer of '88, and the country. You can't. I mean, I don't know if you call it sort of the zeitgeist of it. You can't put a pulse on just the energy that was running through there. Absolutely amazing.
True. Some good players there, man.
And the beautiful thing about football is that, you know, the underdog always has a chance. Even if you're playing like way out of your league, you always have that chance. So there's excitement in the game. It's just a poetic, beautiful sport, in my opinion. Oh yeah, you're right. So Elaine, Mrs. UK. Oh, is it you Brian's wife, right? UK Bitcoin Master. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So I got to get this. Yeah, I forgot the scarf, Peter. So we have a tradition here on Toxic Happy Hour. The reason why we're often late is because Pubby and I, we front run and buy the what is known as the Toxic Happy Hour pump. So we go and buy some sats, then we launch the show and pump the price, relentlessly shill our backs, and then that's how we do this.
Do I need a scarf?
You do.
Give me 1 second. Let me get a scarf.
Perfect. And Taproot Ubers, thank you for making that first historic super chat. Like, you guys definitely don't have to do that. You know, if you're stacking hard, keep stacking. But what we will do is we will pledge that any funds going to Toxic Happy Hour will be spent on drinks and dames. Are you with me, Puppy? And equipment, of course.
No, hey man, I was telling you out there, the equipment. Yeah, we get some from certain good friends in the chat who wish to remain nameless. We're putting that together. Now the new microphone is on its way. But you know that we're gonna let that stuff ride, baby. We're gonna let it ride. Why spend our precious sats? We'll keep it going.
I don't have any scarves. I don't have a scarf. I thought I had a scarf, and I can't find one. So I'm scarfless.
Yeah, it may be needed for the pump, Peter. So here's the thing. Last time or recently, Puppy was in a hotel somewhere. I think you were on a skiing holiday, right, in Colorado, Puppy. And he didn't have I think you didn't have a scarf, but did you take the towel or something from a white towel from the hotel?
No, it was actually a scarf. You know, you sometimes can wear a scarf once. It was actually, someone called it. They thought it was a towel I took from the bathroom, but no, it was actually a scarf.
Right. Awesome. All right. Should we get into a bit of Bitcoin topics? Peter, a lot of things going on. You're getting a lot of heat for different things. There's a car, there's BlockFi. Here's a chance to speak both sides. What's the star?
That's what my daughter made. Made this. A little bit of, and you put all the things in, like little fucking bead things in this, and you iron it. And she makes a bunch of these shit, like this little person. But she made me an octopus.
Oh,
I'm just surrounded by all the. I think this thing's called Barry. She just makes me shit all the time. It's cool.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
So, first of all, there's a comment in the chat. If we had 3 scarves going, all-time high would be possible during the show. We would jump 20%. But if you don't have one, it's okay, Peter. Puppy, so. Word over to you. Where do you think we should get started? I mean, we'll definitely end up talking bull run, price expectations, moon juice. That's kind of like the steady pillar of the show here. But Puppy, where do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's go back. I'm not going to go back and rehash the entire 2021 year, but let's start with the most recent news. Morgan Stanley and all these ETFs coming in. What are your thoughts on that moving forward? we'll reach the other stuff later, but yeah. So the latest news about the ETFs. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we could have done this chat any week this year, and we would have had a whole bunch of shit to talk about, right? So
Yeah.
we could talk about Morgan Stanley and the ETF. What is it? There like 17 ETF applications, or it could have been, a few weeks back, and we would have talked about Tesla buying Bitcoin, or a few weeks back, and we could have been talking about Michael Saylor, or it could have been, whatever point you pick. You could go and look at the news, and there was so much stuff to talk about, like insane thing on with Bitcoin. And I think the bigger story really is that, like, I think this is the year where we're going through that real transitional phase of Bitcoin going from not just being like a toy or a speculative asset or something which a bunch of nerds think about. Like, it's essentially going mainstream. And that's super interesting. And it feels like Bitcoin's touching everything. Like, all institutions are in and caring, companies are caring, people are considering putting it in their treasuries. The only thing that's kind of weird about this one is that I haven't felt the retail interest like I felt the retail interest in 2017. And I don't know if that's because I'm not close to it, or if it's because people feel like they're missing out because they're seeing companies put billions in, and in their head they're thinking, I can't do that. I think there's a lot of retail in shitcoins and DeFi and NFTs stuff. But I just think we're basically living through the mainstreaming of Bitcoin, which is super interesting. So ETFs are interesting, right? A number of applications, but I don't think there's any issue with the applications themselves, issue with the SEC, whether the SEC is actually at a point where it's comfortable with it now. History hasn't, for a variety of reasons. Maybe they will be interesting, but once you've got one, it's a floodgate. But we have there's an ETF in Brazil right now, right? There's one in Canada. So maybe it's coming. It might not be till the end of the year, but maybe it's coming. And then the Morgan Stanley thing is, it's one of the biggest banking institutions in the world. It's opening up the ability for their wealthiest clients to buy Bitcoin. I mean, it's like I say, it could be next week another story, or the following week another story, or it could be for Amazon. It's just a continuation now, and I expect we're just going to have bullish news all year, because there is essentially institutional / corporate / billionaire FOMO going on right now. And you don't want to be the last one to discover Bitcoin.
I agree.
I was sort of laughing because, like he was talking about, I remember, I think it was JP Morgan, they were going to open Bitcoin to, quote, their wealthiest clients. I'm laughing because anyone can buy it. And they got to get their head around the unit. The unit bias is the biggest, the thing that holds it back from retail. They think, oh my God, I don't have $50,000. I can't buy this. If we can find a way to change that unit bias, it's all over. I think retail comes flooding in. I do know people that are starting. I got friends of mine that come talk to me and say, yeah, how do I get started in this? I understand it's $50,000, but you told me about it this many years ago, and it's working. How do I get involved? So I do get friends that come and ask me how to get started.
Yeah, the unit bias is a tricky one. My starting point for anyone with it is they're like, it's a bit expensive, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not selling. And they're like,
yeah.
Well, why? And I'm like, because firstly, this shit's going to go much higher in the short term, and secondly, it's programmed to go up forever. The way it's designed, it just goes up forever. So I'm not selling. I've got no need to sell. I've got no interest in selling. If you want to get on board, that's fine. It's up to you. But I'm not selling.
Love it. So that leads us actually. Do you want to not talk about cars, Peter?
I'll talk about anything. You can ask anything.
All right. So you're not selling yet. You're getting a phenomenally beautiful Aston Martin that you don't have it yet, but it's being delivered or getting prepared. So how do you do that? Not selling any Bitcoin? Is it because you have good revenue as a podcaster, or how do you make it happen?
So It's not getting delivered. So the one I'm looking at tomorrow afternoon. Because I had a specific color I wanted. There's this one that's called Skyfall Silver. I went down to the garage on the Saturday to look at the one they had, but it wasn't the color I wanted. And then he called me up and said he's got it. It's got this weird green accent on it. I was like, okay, I want it. So I paid a deposit. I go down to see it tomorrow. If I like it, then I take it home. And so, it's a significant purchase. Like, you've got choices. Choice one is you can sell some Bitcoin, because like my choices are limited by the fact that I went pretty much coin only this year. Like, outside of 8 weeks personal and business cash, everything goes into Bitcoin. So I know what it costs me to live for 8 weeks. So everything above that into Bitcoin. I know what it costs me to run the business for 8 weeks, everything into Bitcoin, right? That's just the way it is. So I could sell some Bitcoin, buy the car, or I can I could go to someone like Blockfi and take out a loan against my Bitcoin and just pay off the car, or I could take out credit with the company themselves. And I'm just going to take credit with the company themselves because the APY is 6.9%, right? So 6.9% compared to what Bitcoin is going to do this year is super cheap. So it's a dumb move to sell any Bitcoin to buy it. So yeah, I'm not going to sell it, and then I'm just going to make the monthly payments based out of my podcast revenue. So I mean, so the opportunity cost is that money I'm paying every month to pay off. I could have stacked more sats, but yeah, I'm not.
All right, that's fair enough. We all gotta live at some stage. I mean, I think all three of us have a long-term time preference, but also want to. What I like is that so you're not reducing the amount of Bitcoin you have, and Bitcoin is going up in value every single month. This is the 6th consecutive month that Bitcoin goes up double-digit in value. You're taking some of your revenue to start enjoying life. I'm actually in the same position. We don't have podcast income. We're just having fun, but both Pubby and I, we do other things for revenue. I just want to give a quick shout out to Ben Prentice doing the 2nd super chat ever for Toxic Happy Hour.
Ben works for me.
This is so this might I didn't know you guys worked together. Ben Prentice is a scuba dude. He was on Toxic Happy Hour earlier with the what the fuck happened in 1971.
Yep, we did that,
which was great show. And he's saying, I'm watching this instead of the work supposed to be doing for Peter. Hopefully he still pays me. Peter, will you still pay Ben Prentice?
Listen, Ben has fucking killed it in his first month. He's absolutely killed it. I'll tell you a story about Ben, right? I was in Boston, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever, for a conference. And this dude just comes up to me in the bar and says, like, hi, you Pete. And I'm like, yeah, we hang out, we have a beer. He's super cool. And then I catch up, he comes on my show, like, I must have been, God, whatever, like 7 months ago, whenever it was, 8 months ago, he wouldn't know better than me. Like, I didn't make the connection. He explained to me. I was like, oh shit, you were that guy. And then I got him where I needed a producer, just because we're really busy. Like, the show's doing well, need some help. And the first person I thought was Ben. I was like, I'd love you to come and join. He said, yeah. And honestly, it's an absolute game changer. He's killed it. He's done such a great job. So I'm really, really glad he's part of the team. The product we make is going to be much better because of Ben. So it's really cool to have him on.
Awesome. Can I just ask what exactly, because you're saying producer, what will Ben specifically be doing off task to help your podcast?
So Ben will book the guests, so book the shows in, and he will speak and talk to them a bit about some of the topics they want to talk about, and then help me prep some of the show. I get a lot of emails coming in, like a lot. 100, maybe 200 a day. Certain ones I forward to him. So a lot of them are people asking to come on the show. And I'm like, I include Ben and say, Ben, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? He published for the website. Because we've got 2 podcasts and our brand now, like it's been like 10 people. team. It's become a business. So I've got to like, there's a lot of stuff I have to do now, just running the business. So I just need help in areas. And Ben's a better Bitcoiner than me. He's smarter than me. It makes more sense that he produces a show and keeps kind of a grip on the direction. But we work together. We speak a lot together. But he's doing a great job.
Awesome. Puppy, I know you have something to say. I'd like to bring you into the conversation.
Sure. No, the fascinating thing, and I think we briefly touched about it when we first met Peter, and I love the car story, obviously. I love the Blockfi story, because it all ties into Bitcoin Twitter in a way of I always joke about the Bitcoin purity test. How pure of a Bitcoiner are you? How dare you? How dare you spend your money on something you might enjoy that may be only 1% of your holdings? And so that's always fascinating to me, because everyone has their different levels of, when they came into Bitcoin, they've got different financial backgrounds. My God, BlockFi. Well, what if it fails? What if this? And they're, the doom and gloomers. So how do you put up with all that? Because I know it's out there, and I laugh because look, if a guy wants to buy his dream car, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Can he not buy it?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, right? Like, I didn't set out to create a podcast or get 150,000 followers on Twitter. I just started a podcast, right? Just like one day I decided to do it. And then some people liked it, and it grew and it grew. And then it became a business, and I started taking it more seriously, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's got to this weird point whereby, like, I'm obviously a bit of a dick myself, right? I know that. I know I'm a bit of a dick, and I wind people up. It's brutal and savage out there, and sometimes in ways I don't expect. Like, I quite like the fact that, like, I'm not from money, right? Like, I'm a bloke from a small town called Bedford, and my mum was a nurse, and my dad was an aircraft engineer. Worked hard, gave us what they could, and all I've done is work hard. And like, anyone who wants to come at me, like, for me being a moron, whatever, that's fine. I'll take that. But nobody worked me. Like, I've worked like a fucker this last 4 years. I used to fly to all my interviews pretty much, and I would literally get on a plane, go to New York, do 3 interviews, go back to the hotel, produce, edit them, get them live, go to the next one. Like, I fucking worked like hard. And out the back of that, like, I've made some money, right? And I'm buying a car. And you know what? I shared it on Twitter because I know other people are into cars and they like it. Like, you can go through the comments and like 70-80% of people are like, that's cool, badass, weird. It's like, it's fun to share shit like that. And then you've got like this just 10% of morons who just have to be aggressive. They have to be like, well, fuck you. You've got a small penis. Why don't you stay sats? Like, all this kind of bullshit. And it's just like, but the problem is that stuff kind of gets to you more than the good stuff. Like, you can have a brilliant day and just one comment can come in and just kind of like ruin your day. But like, it is what it is. I mean, after 4 years of being yelled at, I'm kind of used to it. And sometimes I throw barbs back and think, yeah, fuck you. But I think what somebody who's got like 300 followers who comes on and just fucking tries to tear you a new one and then tells you you're soft or whatever, I don't think they know what it's like when you got 150,000 followers and you get thousands of them week in, week out. It's just like, it's full on, right? It's just a lot. And it doesn't make you a snowflake. It doesn't make you a pussy. It's a lot to be told you're fat, you're thick, you're a moron, you're a cunt, they hope your mum dies. Like, to get that, thousands of messages constantly, it's a lot. And
welcome. I was going to say,
it's a lot to take on.
Welcome to being married. Gay marriage, right?
Yeah, I did
Good
that
morning.
as well, man. I did that as well.
You're fat. You're ugly. Get out of my face.
I hate all your fucking friends. But like, it is what it is. I'm just starting to realize, like, that you can't do anything about it, right? Like, if I post anything now, like, if I post a car now on myself, okay, like, for example, I'm going to pick the car, but I go like, okay, do I post this? Because it's kind of cool to show a cool car, and it's kind of cool to say, look, there's a whole bunch of things you post on. It's a little bit of a flex. it's a little bit like, oh, look, this is just fucking cool. I'm really proud of myself. Oh, this is cool. You can do it as well. But like, you have to go, right, if I do this, I'm going to get memed, I'm going to get yelled at, and I'm going to get like bullshit. It's like, okay, is it worth it? And some, you know, I might get to the point where you go, no, it isn't. It's a bit like if I criticize a shitcoin, then I just get the rest of the day, I've got people yelling at me all fucking day. And again, it's balanced, right? It's not like I go, oh, I wouldn't buy a stupid shitcoin, and they go, oh, you should, you stupid maxi. It's like, fuck you, you fucking moron, you fucking mischief, dick, you're a boomer. I hope you die. I hope you're fat. Like, it's full on. It's full on, and yeah, it's a lot to deal with. So yeah, got to figure it out.
So I noticed with the car thing. I know, was it yesterday? 1 second, Andrew, because I got to finish up with the car, then we'll move on.
Of course.
I think you tweeted out one where you had a wrecked Aston Martin.
Yeah. It's not even the same car, right? It was like, what happened was, I was just getting so much shit for it. I thought, do you know what I'll do? I'll just put a wrecked one. So all those morons, because there's a bunch of people out there, right? Yeah. Like, they're just idiots. They are, you know, they've got a bad life. Life sucks. Hasn't worked out how they want it. So they're just not happy, and they just want other people to have a bad life, right? Rather than like get their fucking shit together and work hard and build a life, they just want to go online and just shout at people and try to ruin their lives. And so I know there's a bunch of people like that, and the fucking losers, right? And I know the second I post that car crashed, they're gonna be like, yes, he's crashed. Yeah. I hope his head split open, and I hope his children died. Like, they could be like that, right? So I just thought I'd go and do that. And yeah, as you do, a bunch of people were like, you know, were like that. And they're too stupid to be the same car. But yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. So I just want to add to that. I mean, and Pubby knows that I had my own experience, a couple of weeks ago. And I was telling the fellas that, look, guys, so after $300,000 per Bitcoin later this year, I would really like to pay off some of that humongous credit card debt that I have, where I'm marginally paying 22% interest rate. And I was slashed. Like, you know, how could I want to actually pay off my credit card debt? But
how bad is it?
You know, so the thing is,
how bad's your credit card debt?
It's a lot. I have a lot of credit card debt. I have a lot.
Are we talking 4 figures? 5 figures?
Let me jump in here, because I can tell you, and we can make it a pay-per-view. He has enough where if you put him in the same room with Ben Prentice, they could fight it out to the death who will be your next producer to earn an income.
So have you got all this credit card debt spent all on Bitcoin? Or could you spend on hookers and cocaine?
No. I would never spend money on that. So I never actually directly bought Bitcoin with this credit card debt, but I was in a situation where either I pay off my credit card debt with and be forced to sell Bitcoin, or I keep my Bitcoin and, you know, don't touch my Bitcoin and just accumulate more debt, because I live in Los Angeles. It's expensive. And I'm moving from here eventually. So I never went out straight and bought Bitcoin with the credit cards, but indirectly it allowed me to either not sell or buy with whatever income I had more Bitcoin. So absolutely, you could say dollar for dollar that money more or less is in Bitcoin, and I have a lot of it. I mean, not Bitcoin, unfortunately, but credit card debt. I mean,
was it like survival money, or was it I'm gonna be fucking reckless and have a lot of fun money?
Nah, survival money. Look, so I moved to US from Dubai. I had to start all over again. Start a new business here. Living here is expensive, and so I had a lot of living costs. I basically had a lot of living costs and I do live, frugal. I save money. I don't have a car. I had a bike for a couple of for 1 month. I sent it back to Amazon and bought Bitcoin for the money. That was earlier this year. Puppy knows that. But it's a very high 5-digit number in dollars.
High 5-digit.
It's not far from $100,000 to be honest.
Jesus.
Yeah.
1,000 credit card. Man, just fucking run away. Literally, just run away. Have you got kids?
I have kids, yeah.
But are they with you in America?
Yeah.
Just leave them. Run away. You can get new kids.
So yeah, I'm not gonna run from US because US has a very long arm. But I mean, it's not the only country that I have credit card debt, right? So.
Oh my God. How much?
But you know what? So I tell you what, Peter, it has absolutely worked out phenomenal. Paying 22% is nothing like what Bitcoin has given me in return the last 12 months. So, it was tough maybe during the 2018 bear and 19 slowly coming up. But overall, it's worked out phenomenally. And I will pay off the credit card, all of it this year during the bull run.
Isn't it worth just like in the UK, if you get completely fucked, you can just bankrupt yourself and just go wipe debt away.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to.
Why not? Fuck the banks. Just fuck them.
Well, wow, this is getting personal.
No, don't get personal.
Yeah,
how many countries have you got credit card debt in?
Just two.
Just two. I'll tell you what, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, I'll pay off your credit card debt.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
We're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Now I'll give you the real number. Now I'll give you no. It's not 100,000, but it's not far from it. All right. But yeah, look, it's worked out well. Puppy, let's quickly change the subject here.
No, it's cool. Listen, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I'll pay the fucker off.
Yep.
I'll have another Modelo on that. I'll tell you what. I'll finish this off.
Bitcoin has to get to $1 million, right? First.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I remember this March. We're bopping around 9,000-10,000, and I was asked. I put a poll out: who would take a loan for $10,000? This is well before Michael Saylor, of course. Who would take a loan moving forward to buy one whole Bitcoin for the next 4 years? We're coming up to a halving. Who would take a loan right now?
Hold on. There's a question come up. MG Smith 4. Just tell him it's at Priory Marina.
Wait. So I'm behind on
on
the chat because I was Anna's going to sell his share of Greenland. Yeah, so we're never selling Greenland. I'm sorry, I'm changing the topic here now. Probably we can always get back to Greenland if you want. So which chat is it that you are?
Somebody asked the best dogging spot in Bedford. Apparently, it's Priory Marina, and yes, that is Peter Schiff up there. I'm following the questions. And yes, it is a strong whiskey. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I'm trying to find out which chat you were responding to, so I could at least throw it on the screen.
I've got a chat coming down my side here, like lots of questions. Exactly.
But anyway, Plan Marcus, no, I'm paying only 22% on the marginal interest rate. Most of it is at as 15%. Some will be negotiated to a not being all of it, because that's how I roll.
UK Bitcoin master, my wife in Russian. Fucking hell. Russians. Russian. Fucking hell. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Wait. So, but
so,
Peter,
so are you paying? So, are you just paying off the interest every year, or are you actually chipping away at the debt?
So, I'm a little bit, after we crossed 40, God forbid I mention it to anyone, but I am slowly starting to chip away of the debt for years now. I've only been paying interest rate, but most of it is somewhere where, you know, we'll be able to find a solution and not do the full thing necessarily. Because
just go and negotiate. Just go and say to them, look, I'm fucking broke. Let's renegotiate, or I'm going bankrupt. And like, stop adding interest, you motherfuckers, and I will pay it off, or go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, there's it's taken care of. You won't have to pay much by the time we reach 1 million. There won't be anything, but I really appreciate it, Peter. But no,
yeah, I promise you, we get to 1 million, I'll pay. I'll probably do it. Like, we get to 500,000, tap me up, I'll probably do it.
All right.
Well, to be quite honest, Peter, the reason we asked you on the show today is we thought you would have the Aston Martin by now.
No, tomorrow, dude.
Yeah, Danish he's gonna have someone steal it and sell it on the black market and pay off his debt. We just mistimed it by 1 day. By 1 day only.
Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's terrible there, though. Like, are you okay, man?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm laughing. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. I'm living my dream. Bitcoin is going through the roof, and we only got started. So yeah, I mean, look, not paying off my credit card debt was a very conscious, calculated, phenomenal, great move from my side, in my opinion, because I now have more Bitcoin than if I had paid it off. It was calculated. I'm not like, I could have paid it off, but I chose to pay 22% to have more Bitcoin. And honestly, Bitcoin performs better than 22%. So I just
200% a year. Bitcoin's 200% a year, right?
Yeah, on average. So I just chose to go balls deep, and look, it's working out. Like, nobody feels sorry for me. This is my own doing. It's conscious, and it's great, and I feel no pressure. I'm having a great time with that. You know, watching the price of Bitcoin go up and having more Bitcoin because of it.
You fucking Chad, love it.
Puppy, free puppy.
Well, dude, yeah, I've known you for 2 years now. I realized that your pink scarf is more like a fucking noose. I didn't realize you had this much debt. Listen, man.
Dude.
Hey, call somebody. Talk to somebody.
Look.
I'm joking with you. Come on. No, let me tell you. I know you better. I know you better than anyone. So, and what you're doing, it's a calculator. No, it's a calculated risk that it's not even a risk when you do the numbers. And I was talking to Peter earlier about this past March. I was laughing because at $10,000, I remember my bank saying, "Would you like a $10,000 loan? We'll give you a $10,000 signature loan at 9%." I said, "Oh, that's interesting," because to me, I'm sorry, that may have been a little bit past April. That's about one Bitcoin or 1.5 Bitcoin at the time. Like, man, that's not a bad bet at all. And short of, can you imagine if you had the balls? I mean, what the hell's 11%? That's absolutely nothing on a 5-year note moving forward. Michael Saylor taught us that later, but dear God, even 22%. I know it seems crazy, but you're right. You're absolutely right at 20%. What the hell is that on an asset class that returns 200%?
Exactly. Look, so please, like, you know, I really appreciate your support here, Peter, but no one has to feel sorry for me. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't forced to. I took on that debt because I thought it was ridiculously cheap in a currency that's being diluted 40% a year, and Bitcoin, therefore, amongst other reasons, is appreciating 200% a year. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm laughing. This is great, honestly. But you know, since you did offer it, I'll totally hook you up when we get to that $500,000. But no, I'll probably have it paid off by then. You don't need that. Buy me a beer in Miami. Are you coming to Miami, Peter?
I am coming to Miami. I'm emceeing the conference.
Oh, you're emceeing it?
Yeah, so I got to be there, dude.
Oh, I guess you're coming then.
Hey, let me jump in though. Look, I'll be there. Man, we had a lot of shitcoiner talk. Chamath, so what do you think, man? Chamath got a bad rap in a few things here on Twitter. What do you think of this
yeah,
stuff?
Yeah,
It's got to be asked
because
Bitcoiners are coming down there, man. Hardcore Bitcoiners. Yeah, I
so
know.
Chairman, okay, listen, Chairman's a smart dude, right? He's made a lot of money. He's done very well. He snapped at somebody, and I don't think he realised who he was snapping at and what it meant. I've done it. Honestly, when you get people yelling at you all day, every day, sometimes you snap. Sometimes you're like, go fuck yourself. You know, or you say something dumb and stupid. The difference is like a lot of people do dumb and stupid shit in their lives, right? But the more profile you have, the more you're held to account. So you can be someone like 100, 200 followers and just say shit and just get away with it. But like when you've got like, I mean, he's got what, maybe 1 million followers. He can't have a bad day. If he has a bad day, it's all over, right? He gets one thing. I mean, he's got a few things I would say wrong, but generally speaking, I think he's probably a good guy. He says a lot of smart shit, but he does that thing wrong, and the plebs are after him, and now he's under a lot of pressure. And it's difficult. It's but I like Chamath, and I'm pretty sure if somebody sat down and said, "Look, I think you got that wrong with Surfer Jim. I think that was a bit rude. Yeah, perhaps you should apologize." And maybe it would go, "No, look, I believe in shitcoins. Like Surfer Jim's wrong, blah blah blah." But you know, the players hold people really to account. They're tough. They've been tough on me, right? I've had a real hard time for them. But I think they're super fucking important. I don't know, man. It'd be interesting. Hopefully I'll talk to. I've never spoken to Chamath. Hopefully I'll talk to him and see what he thinks. But yeah, nobody knows what situation was him. He might have had a shit day. His wife might have been like, in his ear, or he might have like whatever, and he just lost it. And but like everyone should be allowed to fuck up occasionally.
He's absolutely agree with that. Everyone should be allowed to, like you say, fuck up. But you also should be around Bitcoin Twitter enough to know the cyber hornets are pretty much unforgiving. And so you especially should know how this works.
Yeah, but maybe he doesn't really, like I say, when you're at the point, the other thing is you've got like 1 million followers, you don't know who he interacts with. He might spend most of his time just interacting with other Silicon Valley people, and he might not spend that much time around. He might not even know really who the plebs are. Or, like, I'm just saying, I just think sometimes you've got to take a step back at these things and just look at the context of it all. It's not to approve it, and it's not to justify it. It's just to say, why did this happen? And I'm pretty sure if like someone, could talk to him, to just try and explain to him, maybe he would go back to Jim and just say, look, mate, I was a bit of a dick and I'm sorry. But if not, then so be it. But like, I'm not in this, like, I'm not one of these people who's like, burn everyone to the fucking ground. They make one mistake, they're dead, they're finished to be like, I don't fucking need that shit.
So, I didn't know this was going to work into like such a great financial decision for me to have Peter on. I really look forward to it. No, but seriously, it'll be paid off before we go there. Bitcoin is doing her thing. It's wonderful.
I'll be right back. I got to open a new credit card account now. Uncle Peter has joined the show.
Unsecured credit. Let's before, so this is actually my breakfast, and before that gets too much to me, let's go through some of the topics. Like, so we spoke a little bit about Blockfi, and I know there's a lot of hate on Blockfi at the moment on Bitcoin Twitter. There was some website called was it Ditch Blockfi or something? Is there any concern?
That's bullshit.
Right.
That website was fun. It was they actually did a URL lookup. It was by a competitor. It was just fun. It was bullshit. Blockfi is fine. They just raised 350 million on a 300 million on a $3.5 billion valuation. Their problem is people just hate them. Yeah.
Why?
It doesn't matter what they do. People want them to crash, burn, collapse, and die. And every tiny little thing they do, people are on them. And so, it's what it is. All I said, if you don't know what Blockfi, don't use it. And just don't use it. They're not going away. Just don't fucking use it. And if you don't think other people should, then tell them. Give them advice. But a lot of people out there are grown up and old enough to make their own decisions, right? There's a lot of people who are happy with yield products, who want to use yield products and think, I trust Blockfi. And I know we have this like Mt. Gox PTSD, but we're in a very different place. Like,
Yeah.
BlockFi is a very different company from Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox was run by one guy who bought a bunch of code off another guy, didn't know what he was doing, and got screwed. Like, we're in a very different place now where these companies know how to professionally custody Bitcoin. I mean, I can't remember the last time, like, when did the last time a Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, BlockFi, anyone have any of their Bitcoin hacked? Now, listen, this is not to say, we shouldn't be on our guards, because it's always possible, but we shouldn't compare these companies to Mt. Gox. They're very different companies. But at the same time, the lenses on them, that's great. Everyone's looking at them, great. But they're not going away. There are people out there who want yield on their Bitcoin, and they're happy with the risk and the trade-off, and will use it.
I can't agree more. And this is one thing I've talked about. And I know some of the group in the chat always make fun of me because I started, yes, December 2017 at the top. I had to ride on the bear market. I didn't have, there weren't much in the way of resources at that time. You just like, what the hell is this? Not your keys, not your coin. What the fuck is a hardware wallet? I'm with you. Like, yeah, what the hell was an Xpub? I get that too, man. So there's a lot of people I know that can relate. What the hell is an Xpub? As we move, but I look at this now. I remember the first time I came across computers. You could load programs from a cassette tape into a computer, and you had a command line.
I remember those.
You remember those days?
Because that's what we are. Cassette in, and you would have that like sound that
Commodore 64.
After like 25 fucking minutes waiting, and then it would load, and you're like, what the fuck?
And do you know what the 64 represented in Commodore 64? It represented
64 kilobyte of RAM, right?
64K of RAM. Yes.
Wow.
That's what that meant. 64K of RAM. We are at the 64K of RAM of Bitcoin in my mind right now. Because the future generations, it's going to be so seamless because you talk about Casa, you talk about these companies coming in with these different layer solutions. It's going to be fantastic. But when you think about how early we are, it's amazing.
Listen, someone just mentioned Manic Miner on the C64 was awesome. Manic Miner was the first computer game I ever played. I remember, but it wasn't on the 64, it was on the BBC. My dad I was about 5. My dad came home with this thing, a computer, and like set it up. And we were like, what the fuck? Put in the floppy disk, and the first game I played was Manic Miner. I still play. I actually still go on sometimes and play because you can play the emulators. I go and play the Manic Miner emulator, and I still keep packing after nearly 40 years. I can't complete that game.
I remember waking up to see Atari and Intellivision. These are games in the 70s. Pitfall, Donkey Kong, the simple 2D graphic games.
I want
to see it now.
The thing is about BlockFi, right? I've been like, they're a sponsor and I'm a customer, and they're two separate things, right? And people are like, oh, you get preferential treatment. I don't. Like, proof being, I said I was going to pay off my car with my BlockFi interest, right? And the next day they changed the rates. The rates don't allow me to do that anymore. I'd be a fucking moron to have done that. It was like, so I don't get any preferential rates or preferential treatment as a customer. I'm completely normal. But at the same time, since being a customer in May 2019, I've now 1.2 Bitcoin more than I would have had based on using their products. Okay. I'm cool with that.
So I have a question. No, I have a question on this though. What is the pushback? What is the pushback in your mind from the community? What can BlockFi get wrong to make it a bad? Because listen, if I have whatever amount of Bitcoin, if I can put, let's say 10% of my Bitcoin to get Bitcoin interest, sounds like a good deal. Is there a downside? Is there a risk? And what is it?
Well, it's the counterparty risk, right?
Yeah.
You're not holding your Bitcoin. If something goes wrong with BlockFi, if there's a hack, their business goes tits up, they make a mistake, then you potentially lose your Bitcoin because it's not recoverable. So look, that's the risk, and it exists. So therefore, you have to say to yourself, do I know enough about this company and do I trust them enough to take that risk? I do, and I'm okay with that. But I get that plenty of other people aren't, and that's cool as well. You know, we all have the option to like make a choice with these things, and I totally get why some people don't like them. I get it, and it's not that I even disagree, but we are, you know, people want free markets, and by having a free market, we have the ability for someone like Blockfi to create a company, and we have the ability for everyone to criticize them, and that's all that's happened. The free market's playing out. Companies are being created, and people are criticizing them.
Yeah,
but I like them as a company.
So I would like to say something here, and that is that
someone's just asking. Sorry, Pardus. So I get the questions up here. Does Pete get the same rates everyone else does? I get exactly the same rates as everyone else does. There is no special rate. I wish there was. I fucking wish there was, but there is no special rate.
Yeah. Which you said, yeah, you already answered that actually. But so what I want to say is, you know, Bitcoiners, it's funny because we all preach free choice, like sovereignty. You can decide what you want to do. No one should tell you what you should do. Government don't have a say. We all say that we are, and let me bring this baby out. I just got it yesterday, the sovereign individual. We should all be sovereign individuals making up our own decisions. But I feel a little bit on Bitcoin Twitter, you're not allowed to make your own decisions. It's becoming a little bit of a lynch mob. And look, yeah, I'm skeptical about things as well. But I believe that the individual has the right to make his own decisions. As a Bitcoiner, I believe in capitalism. I believe in freedom of speech and of decisions. And also what I do want to say is that, look, lending from one group of people to another group of people actually do play a very important part in society, because people who have excess capital can lend it to people who are entrepreneurs. They're putting together capital, ideas, and execution to create value in society. You need that function. I mean, you can hate on Blockfi, you can love, I don't care. But in general, a lending market is good for humanity, for society. Do I like the current Maxwell fractional reserve banking? Absolutely not. The current banking system, which starts at the disgusting and evil central banks, I have a huge problem with that. They cause more pain in society than most people realize. I want to give a shout out to Tahini's, who also popped up in the chat, and he said early on, I can't find the chat now, but all you beautiful Bitcoiners, you get a free shawarma at Tahini's up in Canada, and Tahini's going global. So Pubby and I, we are shawarma plebes. We're not taco plebes.
Was that a question? Because
no, actually, I just ranted a little bit there, but you know, sometimes we create a natural pause where whoever wants to grab the word can. So Peter or Poppy, you know.
Let me jump in here on something real quick. What I've loved the most coming into this space, into Bitcoin, is how you define Bitcoin. What does it mean to you? What brought you into it? Because everyone has a different angle, man. Everyone has number go up. I love, like I said, with Greg Foss, I never thought of it about, this is a, oh, guess what? It's a insurance policy against the world. And I really like that one. It's an insurance policy against the world. People love it because they have something that's non-confiscatable by the government. I don't understand. I love the beautiful thing about Bitcoin. It's all things to all people. And I had a friend of mine that said to me, that sounds like it's a god. And I said, yes, in a way it is. It is a god in a way. You can view it as you want. And it answers all your promises or prayers. I don't know. I think there's so many aspects, economics, energy wise. There's so many aspects of life that Bitcoin answers. And Satoshi, I don't think Satoshi Nakamoto ever realized that he answered all the questions at once. He answered the one main question in the world, which was store value to me. He answered it, and guess what? Everything after that was this beautiful tree, and the roots growing down into the ground.
Profound.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful and profound. So what other topics do we want to cover? We haven't really spoken about the bull run too much yet. We've thrown out like 300,000, 500,000 stuff. But Peter, what's your expectations for? Do you think that the current bull run we are in is triggered by the halving? Do you believe in Plan B's model? Ooh, there's something controversial there. And where do you think we'll go in this bull run?
I think we're going to keep going up, and then we're going to stop going up, and then we're going to go down again.
Oops.
I mean, fuck knows, man. Listen. Who knows? It's just like the $1 million question. It's like, where's the top? Everyone wants to know the top because they want to know when to sell, so they can like wait for it to go down and buy again. And it's just like, I can't play that game. Who fucking knows? Like in 2017. I was blown away when Bitcoin went from 1,000 to 2,000. I actually remember being in the pub in Ireland with my dad and said, it's at 2,000. Wow. I had no idea it was going to go to 20,000. Fucking blew my mind, right? But, you know, whatever. It did what it did. I've got no idea. I could pick a number out there. I was going to go to 200,000, but I've got no reason to make that claim because I don't know if it will go to 150 or 350. I'll be just pulling a number out of my ass and saying it. So because I don't know, I don't care really. I can listen to what other people say. I just make a decision. I'm not going to sell. Just not going to sell.
I think a great future podcast will be with Greg Foss at one of his Montreal pubs. Pubs. You fly in. We'll get Denver Bitcoin in there as well. We'll talk energy. We'll talk credit swaps. We'll talk everything.
And we get Ali in there. And he'll bring like 20 shawarmas, and I can just say,
so it's at his place. It's at his place, yes.
Oh, I thought you said it was at Greg Foss's pop because we got the pop, we got the shawarma place.
You're right.
So maybe we should do 2 events.
True. Yes.
We should do 2 events. But before we go on to Adi's question here, which is a favorite from the genius memers we have in the chat, and also we have RD in the chat. Just JKRD. I had a question, but Pubby said something before, threw me off track. So why don't we go straight to the question, Peter? What is your favorite Bitcoin meme?
My favorite Bitcoin meme. I'm gonna say, have fun staying poor. I think it's fucking been brilliant. It's been brilliant. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. He gets thrown at me all the time now by shitcoiners. Motherfuckers. I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I think it's so funny. It's so perfect.
So you know what's funny is I'm trying to work out with Anders how we put a little bit new I don't know, welcoming show in front of us. But I like to have fun saying poor. A shout out to at BTC Minstrel who put it together. And I've seen one that was done with, there's the old show called Cheers. Do you remember that? Cheers?
Oh,
yeah. Everyone knows
the
your
US.
name.
Cheers.
Everyone knows your name.
Before you continue your story, let's take this opportunity to say cheers to the chat. Cheers, Peter. Cheers, Poppy. Cheers to you guys in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. We enjoy it. To me, this is my social life. Toxic Happy Hour is my social life. You all get to share it.
So what was brilliant about Cheers, like you say, it was the second family you never had. But everyone knows your name. But there was someone in Bitcoin. I'm trying to find, if someone can send me the Bitcoin original, someone had done it where you put all your Bitcoin friends' Abby's on the faces. And I thought it was so fantastic. But I want to do that with Have Fun Staying Poor as the song. That's my dream.
Nice.
Can Ben make this happen? No, if Ben Prentice can make this happen, he's already skived off of work for a bit, hasn't he? He should be able to start producing again.
Ben disappeared from the chat. I think he understood that he did have to actually produce some what Bitcoin did podcast for Peter. He knew to disappear. Either he's quiet because he knows it looks better as an employee, or he's actually working. Either one will fly. I'm pretty sure. So
we can try and make it.
Yeah. Which hotel? You don't need to answer that. But going to Miami, Pubby and I will be staying at. Can we say that? Doesn't matter. We don't have much.
I don't know where they're at.
You know where you're staying, or you don't know?
No, I don't know.
All right, Puppy. All right, we can move on to the next topic. Ali, I have a question. Ali's in the chat. Are you going to be at the Miami and then back to obviously our guest? We've covered the Aston Martin. I saw your picture of it. Absolutely, I love that screaming neon green color on it.
I got a question. I got a question about this. So the original, how much would it cost you to buy? Like, what year was that? 67, 66?
What's that?
The original Aston Martin. To get the original James Bond Aston Martin. How much would it have cost you?
Fuck those, man. A lot of money.
No. Yes, of course, but is it worth it? Is like the original worth it more? I looked at it. That's the NFT of vehicles, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. Well, yeah.
No, I think no. I love the original. Oh yeah, let's go to the NFTs, man. How cool are NFTs? So much value
NFTs
in them.
Fuck off, man. Just more stupidity. It's like, what the fuck is this you buy?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what you get. Yeah.
Hey, you get a chance with 2 fingers on your phone, you can just copy paste that thing somewhere else. You just copy an NFT.
It's all dumb, man. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. I got no interest in NFTs, man. I know the shitcoiners do, but I just don't.
So, Peter, besides Bitcoin, when it comes to all the shitcoins, how do you see any potential, or are you a toximalist like Pubby and I? What's the story?
I mean, look. Right, how do I put this? I don't mind Monero. Like, I think achieving full purity with Bitcoin is quite difficult. There's certain things that if I wanted to buy, I would probably consider Monero, just because I wouldn't know how to do it with Bitcoin without making a mistake, right? Would I hold it as a store of value? No. What do I think of the rest of the shitcoins? I think of it as like Vegas. I don't care, right? Like, if people want to go and like play with potato coin and yield farm some, I don't care. Go and do it. Up to them. I just think it's fucking nonsense. But also going to Vegas is nonsense. Like, you can go to Vegas and have a lot of fun trying to win money and losing money. And that's what I think, like, all I think altcoins are. They're just Vegas. You can go and win some, you lose some, whatever, and then move on. But it's just not for me, right? I just think they're dumb. Like, I think you've got the greatest investment of all time confirmed. Why would you fuck around with other stuff that's proven time and time again to fail? Why would you do that? Just put it all in Bitcoin. But I'm not toxic like all the others. It's not like I don't believe they shouldn't exist. I just don't care about them. What exists? Don't exist. NFTs, I don't care that they exist. I think they're stupid. I think the people buying them are stupid. I don't think they're going to lose a lot of money, but I don't give a fuck.
That's a different kind of a toxicity. Pubby, what do you think of Monero?
Fuck. Look, if I want to be private, and that's what I think Monero is about, right? About privacy. Jesus, I'll get a burner phone. I can download any wallet I want, and no one knows it's me. So I don't understand the use case. I understand the use case now. When it comes to any other called a shitcoin or whatever, I don't understand what value proposition they present that cannot be designed as a second layer solution. I've never seen a use case aside from store of value. I've never seen a use case in the world for any other crypto, quote unquote, currency, which I hate, besides Bitcoin.
Right. I'll quickly give my input in terms of Monero. I heard technical savvy people talk about that the way most people use Monero, they actually don't even get that privacy because you have to like use it some specific way. So personally, I would prefer to use Bitcoin for privacy. I mean, Lightning Network helps with that. You do CoinJoin or Whirlpool or whatever it's called. If you know what you're doing, you can get privacy today with Bitcoin. For that reason, I don't think Monero has the future. And furthermore, we have Taproot and Schnorr signatures that I don't know what they mean technically. I know from the smart people that they will give privacy as well. Peter, we have a question from good old solid Rock Ape 73. Do you think you'll give your freedom back in UK?
This is good.
Did we ever have it?
Oh.
Did we ever have it? Did we ever have it? When did we get it back? We live in a country with like the massive surveillance, no free speech. You know,
you had it.
So where do you ever get perfect privacy? You don't get perfect privacy.
I think you had it in 1966, baby.
Nah,
was it Pete fucking Best? What an era that was.
Right, you're being a proper Yank now. Firstly, he was called George Best. Secondly,
George Best, yes.
And secondly, he played football for Northern Ireland, not England.
He didn't play for England in the World Cup? Fuck.
No, George Best played for Northern Ireland. He's probably the greatest footballer who never played in a World Cup.
Yes, I know.
Because he played for a shit country.
I know. Well, at least I knew his last name. Unless it's Newt. Fuck, man. Give me a second here.
It's like me going. It's like, what's his name? Brian Brady, the quarterback for the LA Kings.
Right.
That would be wrong, wouldn't I? How many times wrong would I be in that sentence?
True.
I don't know. Peter, long term, where do you see Bitcoin long term? Do you believe that Bitcoin will take over as the money of the world and replace dirty fiat currency? Or I mean, what's the long term scenario for you?
Who knows, man? Honestly, I think Bitcoin's here to stay and will continue to grow and become an important money. Will we lose sovereign currencies? Maybe. Will it happen in my lifetime? I don't know. I think the US is going to try and defend the dollar for a long time. Perhaps they're side by side. Honestly, I'm just like, predictions are hard, right? Massive predictions like, will we see Bitcoin become the standard reserve currency for the world? And it's like a big thing to get your head around and try and imagine that happen and sovereign currencies fail. I don't know. It's too big a deal. I'm willing to put my hat on. It's like Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. It's the best investment there is. Motherfuckers should just buy it. Stay away from shitcoins and DeFi and scammers. Be patient. Work hard. Stack sats. Keep it simple.
So are you 100% all Bitcoin then? Like no shitcoins at all?
No shitcoins. I'm 110% Bitcoin.
Nice.
See, 110. See, Puppy. All in means you have more than your net worth in Bitcoin. Because like me, you got some debt. You got some dirty fiat debt. So you have more Bitcoin.
No, I feel bad now because I remember George Best. I remembered him in I think it was a red jersey with the white collar. And
he played for Manchester United.
Yes, the best team ever, of course. Not Liverpool. Manchester United. Wait, didn't Eric Cantona play there? Fucking Eric Cantona.
He did? Yeah, Eric Cantona did. Love it.
Oh my God. Paul Scholes. I love. Ryan Giggs. From fucking Wales. Ryan Giggs played there.
Man,
and he was one of the best players. Ryan Giggs
was
played there.
Was he the guy that slept with his brother's wife or something?
Yes, but he was a footballer. He was a footballer first and foremost. by the way.
No, it's a cunt. Nobody should do that. You don't sleep with your friend's wife, let alone your brother's wife. Ryan Giggs is a cunt. You can fuck.
Yeah. That's not. That
Fuck
is
honestly,
not.
fuck that guy. That's not cool. The forgiveness, like the fact people just forget about that. He slept with his brother's wife. He's a dick.
Yeah,
That's
that is
another
not
level
okay.
of
Look,
shitcoinery.
whenever there's some
Shit
marriage,
brotherly.
Soccer coinery. What do you call it? Football coinery? Footery.
Oh, man, shit
Footery? I don't know. Yeah. What do you do?
Oh, no, we got football tonight, actually. I think we've got England playing.
Who are they playing?
We got the World Cup qualifiers.
Oh yeah. So they started. These games actual count and matter, even though we haven't played the Euro Cup yet, right? They're actual it's not friendlies. It's actual.
No, these are qualifiers for the World Cup. It kicks off in 7 minutes, actually.
I actually think we started. I think we played against Israel. So I gotta check that out while we're talking here, because look, I think it was Israel. I gotta find out.
Well, they had
this
to.
is important. This is football. This is really, really important.
Yes, of course. Well, Israel can't play on Saturday, so they have to get their game in here. It's all about religion now.
All right, wait. Here we have it.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah.
62 minutes in. 62 minutes in, and Denmark is up 1-0. And Martin Braithwaite, who I believe is currently striker at Barcelona. What can I say?
Barcelona.
So, yeah, Barcelona. We're looking good there. Awesome.
Oh, we gotta finish up with it like a top 11. We got a top 11 or top 5.
Oh, the lineup, your preferred lineup. I'd be interested to hear what
I love a good lineup,
is.
man. My top 2, of course, my top 2 starting after the goalkeeper. I always like the guy who's the Russian that wore all black. Who's the Russian guy?
Well, Peter Schmeichel is the best goalkeeper of all time. I'm sorry, I know you're at Liverpool, but
here we go.
He is the greatest goalkeeper of all time.
He had the will to kill. God bless you if you were a defender and you made a mistake in front of Peter Schmeichel, he'd rip your head off. So because he used to play at Brøndby, I heard an interview of one of like the big Brøndby players back in the days, and he said the worst possible situation you could be in as a Brøndby player, the most pressure you could have, and we're talking bigger than a European Cup, bigger than playing the local derby. If you got tasked with warming up Peter Schmeichel, we're talking warming up, no points at stake. If you warmed up for Peter Schmeichel and you weren't doing it right, you were done, because he wanted you to kick. They shot it from the side. You know, some striker had to kick the ball when it came in towards the goal. If you scored, he would kill you because you were messing up with his self-confidence. But if you didn't shoot, hard enough, you weren't warming him up. Peter Schmeichel would basically, that was the worst job as a Brøndby player, and the most pressure you could possibly have would be to warm up Peter Schmeichel. True story.
I was thinking of, and as John M. told me, yes, Lev Yashin, of course. And that guy, I think he had an AK-47 tucked in the back corner of the goal. So, yes, you could score on him, but guess what? You were going down. You were going down.
Going down.
So Plan Marcus, who's actually a sock puppet account for Plan B, and he even blocked himself. He is from Netherlands. We all know Plan B is from Netherlands, and they lost to Turkey. Well, there you go. 92 replay. You're not going to make it. Anyways, so we've been going at it for a while. I don't know. Have we covered all topics? What else is to cover? Peter, do you have anything, topics you want to bring up? You want to discuss? It's been great.
I think we covered it all. I think we did it all. I love this. I really enjoyed this. I think we did it all.
Thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure.
Anytime. Loved it. Anytime you want, you let me know.
And I look forward to get you drunk before you do your emceeing in Miami.
Well, let's do it, man.
Puppy.
Right.
No, I was gonna say there's a hey, there's a rumor going around that we're gonna have Stefan Lavera and BTC Sessions doing some karaoke the night before.
Hey, Stefan Lavera can fucking sing.
Yeah, that's what we've heard.
He has got a voice on him. Oh my god. Yeah, Stefan can fucking sing. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Damn it. I can't sing for shit, but he can sing.
I think the one thing I do the worst in my life that I'm worst at is singing.
Yeah.
But I will take one for the team. I will entertain people so they can laugh at me. I'll do that.
Well, your podcast.
Well, I think I'm going to go and watch. I think I'm going to go and watch England play football now.
All right, awesome. Look, Peter, thank you very much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, dude. Loved it.
I look forward to a couple of things. First of all, get a ride in the Aston Martin, and also having my credit card debt paid up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Didn't know this. I didn't know it was going to be that profitable to do a show. We're mostly non-profit.
Yeah, thanks, Anders.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, man. Puppy.
Peace out, guys. Loved it. Take care.
Peace out. Enjoy your game.
Care. Bye. Puppy, any final words from you?
Oh no, fuck! He couldn't leave fast enough, man. He realizes he's got a lot of debt to pay off in your name. So, congratulations.
Yeah,
he had to. Fuck, yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
I go 40, 35, 30, 20. No.
So, RD, our British friend, English friend, excellent memer, phenomenal memer, genius guy. So apparently he says it's 1-0 England against San Marino. You better beat San Marino.
San Marino.
With a lot of goals.
They don't have 11 people on the island, let alone the field. What the hell is that?
Yeah, that's the thing. If you only win 3-0 and the other teams win 15-0, your goal scoring difference is not acceptable.
How easy is it to meme on San Marino? Like the one kid that was going to be the 11th man on the field, he's 10. If you don't show up for the game, you're nothing to us.
Yeah. All right, Puppy.
All right, man. Yep.
We had another show that I enjoyed. I have enjoyed every single Toxic Happy Hour we did. Thanks to all the entertainment coming straight out of the chat. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for participating in the chat. You guys make it worth it to me, honestly. Sure ain't the money, but I will like to thank you for all the super chats coming on earlier. They will. So I'm trying to convince Puppy that we'll spend that money for drinks, but he says we should keep it because it goes up in value. I don't know. Jury is out. Puppy, final words before we hit the off button.
No, I'll never spend that money, man. Until we hit $1 million, we do not spend any gifts of Bitcoin. They just hang out there, man. I'll pay fiat.
So you already purchased, you already ordered your mic online, right? We have a donation of a MacBook Pro for you that you have received. Now you need to set it up so we can get beyond this terrible audio coming from your side.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes. True. On all counts.
All right. Any final words, Puppy? Otherwise, I'll do the outro where I'm telling people not to store value in dirty fiat currency because it loses it all the time. It's a built-in policy and it's nasty.
I'll tell you what. I'm still amazed. Even when you have someone like Peter McComark comes in and you can talk to him, you don't realize how early we are as you sit here, as you watch. The money's. I mean, we're still waiting for ETFs to open up, but that's what people don't understand. We have done absolutely nothing yet, and we're going to sit here and complain and bitch and whine about the color of his car or the color. I'm always flabbergasted in a way.
Love it. So yeah, on that note, I already did the outro. Puppy,
Yeah,
thanks for being a wonderful co-host.
I
You
get
put
it.
a smile on my face. What can I say? Thanks to Peter for coming on and getting exposed to the toxic happy hour. And Marty Sal, cheers to you. You know it. Schmeigel is better. Schmeigel and Shawarma. All right, Puppy. I already did the outro. So on that note, don't store value in dirty fiat. We see you on the
Never.
next one. When is the next one, Puppy? Next week. When can you go?
I think one together. I think maybe Monday. Maybe we'll see.
Maybe Monday may not be good for me. We'll see. All right, we'll wing it. We'll wing it next week. We'll see. We'll wing it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. See you on the next one. Thank you for watching and peace out.
Ciao.
And
Ciao for now.
run the bull. Run the bull.